Brianna Aguilera, college junior at Texas A&M. She was found over the weekend at the bottom of an apartment complex in Austin, Texas. She's from Laredo. The investigation by the folks in Austin right now is not a homicide investigation. And I'm a little skeptical. What Brianna's mother is saying about her interaction with police has me very skeptical about police and their investigation here. So as we look at this case, I think we have to take a step back, look at all the facts and circumstances, but be most concerned about investigators doing a complete job here. And not just, poor girl, nothing to see here, no foul play, let's move on. I don't think it should be that quick. And there are a bunch of reasons, and I'm going to go through them during the course of this video. Welcome, everyone. My name is Vinny Politan, lead anchor for Court TV, your front row seat to justice, the place that brings cameras inside the courtrooms to show you trials from coast to coast since like 1990. We've been doing it for years and years and years. No one's been at the network longer than I have. And this is my life's work as a professional. This is it. Covering the biggest true crime cases and trials in the nation. So this video, we're going to take a look at the case of Brianna Aguilera. Obviously, it's a developing situation. Things will change. And at the end of the day, I just hope a full investigation is done. I'm on TV every night from 8 to 10 on Court TV. I have two shows, Closing Arguments with Vinny Politan and Vinny Politan Investigates. And in between, sometimes I'll jump onto the World Wide Web to do some live streaming, and that's what's happening right now. Welcome. Great to have you here. This is Vinny Live.
Get ready, get set, let's go. It's true crime, streaming live, worldwide. It's Vinny Live. It's true crime, streaming live, worldwide. It's Vinny Live. Get ready. So post inside the chat. Get ready for the prosecutor hat. Get set. To like and to subscribe, let's go. It's time for Vinny Live.
You know that they have those pop-up stores where like there's nothing there and then all of a sudden, boom, something pops up. That's what these live streams are like. Like there's nothing happening and then boom, I pop up. So I go on when I can go on, when I have a moment in between preparing for the show and doing everything else that I do each and every day. But it's great to be here. I wanted to really talk about this story because something about it struck me a little bit. And I think it was the mom and what she posted here. So I want to put this up first. And this is what really struck me about the case. And there we go. It's Stephanie Rodriguez. That's Brianna's mom. This was not accidental. Someone killed my Bri and gave all the group of friends a lot of time to come up with the same story. My daughter would not jump 17 stories from a building to be labeled this as the S word is insane. My daughter loved life and was excited to graduate and pursue her career in law. That also struck me. Austin PD, and she calls out Detective Marshall not doing his job. How is it that certain friends left immediately and the person who was living at the apartment complex vacated her apartment ASAP? All of this alarming to me. Alarming to me. And there was other information that Stephanie Rodriguez has talked about. And that's why this one struck me. Like things happen, right? Our kids go off to school and, we can stay in contact with them, but sometimes we don't, if we don't see them every day, we don't know exactly what's going on in their lives. So is it possible that she voluntarily, jumped? Of course it is. It's possible. But how do we come to that conclusion, or how is that even in the conversation, like within hours? To me, that makes no sense. That makes no sense because she wasn't alone. She wasn't by herself. She wasn't even in her own apartment. She goes to Texas A&M. Texas A&M was playing the University of Texas, the Longhorns, the Aggies versus the Longhorns, the big rivalry game. So she traveled from her school, Texas A&M, and went to Austin, where the University of Texas is, and was staying in an apartment, not her own. I presume with friends or friends of friends. You know how kids kind of set those things up. Oh, yeah, I know somebody. So maybe it was her friend, or maybe it was a friend of a friend. I don't know. We haven't heard those details yet. But Friday night is the big game. Obviously, everyone's going to the game. The kids are partying. I'm sure people might be drinking. And it's college, for goodness sake. It's the big game. It's the party weekend. It's a road trip. Okay, all that stuff. But then apparently there were about 15 people in the apartment after the game, which is when this happens. 15 people. Anyone call 911? I haven't heard that anyone called 911. What the reports that we have is that some passerby saw her and made the call at 1 a.m. Okay. And maybe it was immediate. Maybe it happened at like 12:59. I don't know. But I haven't heard anything about people from the apartment calling. But now she is found and everyone responds. And this is the part that troubles me about what Stephanie Rodriguez is writing here. Certain friends left immediately. Like how could you let anyone leave? How do you let anyone leave? Once you identify the apartment where this happened, who was there? No one's going anywhere. No one's going anywhere. And by the way, you also need to separate everyone. Yeah, it's like herding cats. I get it. But that's the job. That's the job. This is a big deal. A real big deal. I don't think that happened. According to Stephanie Rodriguez, that didn't. Some people are allowed to leave. The person who was living vacated the apartment, like she's gone. All right, I get it. This can be very traumatic. And you just, I got to get out of here. I got to get out. But there's a thing called the death investigation that has to take place. Immediately, no one's leaving. We're taking statements from everyone. Everyone needs to separate. We're not getting together and getting our stories together. I don't think that happened. The second part, and this is something else. Like we understand when something like this happens with the young people, they're going to talk to each other. But sometimes they don't just talk. Sometimes they'll text, they'll WhatsApp each other, whatever it is. How about asking everyone at that party, do you mind if we take a look at your phone? Do you mind if we take a look at your phone? Do you mind if we take a look at your phone? See who minds and who doesn't mind. Who's voluntary. Like no one has to. We know you don't have to, but you don't need a warrant to ask. You can just ask. Hey, can I take a look at your phone? Let me see what's going on here. What are people saying? That should be part of the investigation. Now, before you start saying throwing the S word around, taking her own life. How about a little investigation into who this young woman was? What was going on in her life? What was her deal? Ask her mom. She's a 4.0 student. She had plans for the future. And then just looking at the circumstances surrounding when you are telling the mom, oh, yeah, I think she jumped off voluntarily. Would you really do it then? Is that when you would do it? Is that when you spiral into that level? And I understand it could happen at any point, but that's kind of unusual. Usually people will be by themselves, isolated, detached, depressed, not out partying on a road trip. That's not how this usually goes down. Plus, that means of doing it is also very unusual. Again, none of this is impossible, but it's all like not the default position, which is the way I see this right now. It's like the default fallback in the investigation is, yeah, well, we think she did it herself. There's no sign of foul. I don't see any foul play anywhere. Do you? Yeah, nobody confessed to it, right? All right. How about digging a little deeper? Something else that mom said, that she was in communication with her daughter on this road trip via text and had messages that her daughter had gotten into a fight with someone else, whether it's a verbal fight or whatever, with someone else in the apartment. And I don't know exactly what time that was, but it was at some point of this road trip that there was like some bad blood or back and forth with someone in the apartment. Okay. All right. Well, is that a reason for someone to jump off by themselves? Or does that kind of go in the other direction? That, oh, who was she having this fight with? Should we find out who this was? What the nature of it was? When it happened? How serious it was? Was it physical? Was it verbal? Was it serious? Was it stupid? How about finding that out? Stephanie Rodriguez told one of the local reporters they weren't interested in that. They weren't even interested in looking at that. Like none of this, I'm so skeptical of all of this. Like, to me, it's like the easiest way to just wrap this up. And the cleanest way also for the University of Texas is that this girl came from out of town and she just did it herself. Nothing to see here. Versus the alternative, which is a lot more work, a lot more difficult, and a lot worse for the University of Texas. That's why I'm skeptical. I haven't seen all the evidence, but I want an investigation. And obviously Stephanie Rodriguez wants an investigation. And her gut is telling her something else. I understand she's the parent. She doesn't want to think her daughter would do that, obviously. But what we also know about that is usually there's some history. Is there any history? Did they even ask her if there was history of depression? Had she ever tried it before? Look at the statistics. Most young people who have done that have attempted it before. You should do 10 minutes of research into this area. And none of the circumstances surrounding this one is consistent with what the studies and the statistics tell us. Of course, there's always a possibility of outliers. I get it. But this is an investigation to figure out what happened. And like the fallback position is the one that is least consistent with the circumstances surrounding what happened to Stephanie Rodriguez. Now, could it be an accident, or how is it an accident? How could it be an accident? And I'll make this bigger for you. This is from the website of the apartment complex, 21 Rio in Austin. And these are the railings. You can see how high. They said 17 floors. I don't know if the apartment was on the 17th floor or the 18th floor. Could you accidentally fall off of here? How high are the railings? Everything's in the code. This is a brand new building, so the safety codes are going to be through the roof, right? I got another picture here. A lot of these apartments are nice. They have these nice big patios. How could it accidentally happen? All right, if you're sitting on the rail, I could see it accidentally happening. I don't know why you'd accidentally sit on the rail, but it's possible. It's possible. But does this scream accident? If it does scream accident, how did the accident happen? What did it look like up on the balcony? Did you take pictures? Was there like a chair next to the balcony that you could step up on and then maybe you're trying to take a selfie? I don't know. What's the theory here? If it was an accident, how does the accident happen? How does no one see it? How does no one see it? And by the way, I hate to state like the obvious, but how could you tell the difference between an accident and someone pushing you or throwing you over? How could you tell the difference? Like, how could you tell the difference? What is the physical evidence that examine a scene? Oh, yeah, no sign of foul play here. Well, what would be the sign of foul play? What is the scene of foul play that you would have if someone was thrown off a balcony? You haven't even done the autopsy yet. You come to these conclusions. It's just such a rush to like a non-judgment, right? Rush to like close the case up. So I feel really bad for Stephanie Rodriguez. Obviously, she's going through what no mom ever wants to go through. And she is with her daughter. She was so proud of her daughter, too. Daughter was doing amazing at school. 4.0, going to go into law. Had a big future. Had a big future. Was she dealing with anything? I don't know. But would it really manifest itself on like this road trip, the big game of the year? I get it, the Aggies lost, but like really, like, does it really matter? It's like you're going to the big game, you're going to Austin, it's a fun city, lots of young people, you're at a party, and then you're just going to jump? Like, what is that? And obviously the toxicology is extremely important as well. What's the rush? Have you really answered that question? She just fell. Come on. Come on. That's absurd. And it's really troublesome to me that the conclusions and the presumptions that are being made, there should be no presumptions. It should be an investigation. Where does the evidence take us? And let's gather all the evidence until you have a toxicology, you have nothing here. All right, let's get a toxicology. Have we spoken to everyone who's in that apartment? Have we figured out who she was having a confrontation with at some point in that apartment, whether it was earlier that day, the day before, or that night? Do we know what was going on with her phone? Because her mom was making a big deal about that because she couldn't contact her. She contacted police very quickly. They say you have to wait 24 hours. And then they call her up later the day. They found a body in the morgue that they had to identify. Now, mom couldn't go there and search because mom's from Laredo, Texas, and this is happening in Austin. Her daughter's, she's an adult. She's still, would be like my kids unless my child, right? Young adult, but she's an adult. She goes on road trips. She's a responsible adult. I can't imagine being the mom and you're speaking with detectives who are disinterested and are telling you what happened without even looking at or asking for the information. The good news is I think mom's doing the right thing. She's being outspoken. She's being aggressive. You've got to be, it's like this anywhere in life though, right? You need to be your own best advocate. You have a missing child or you have a child who has died and you want answers. You have to be your best advocate. You're in a hospital and a loved one is having issues. You need to be the advocate for your loved one. You need to be the one making noise, listen, no. You're going to pay attention here. You're going to pay attention to this case. That's my mom in that bed. What's going on? That's my daughter, her life. What happened to her? You need to tell me. You need to figure it out. You need to look at all the evidence. And you have to do that. You have to be very vocal. And in the world we live in, where we are now on social media, and local news is still powerful in stories like this, you've got to bang the drum. And I'm glad mom was doing it. She was supposed to be on my show last night. We spoke to her during the day, and then I can't imagine what she's going through, right? With everything that she's dealing with all at once. Oh my. And we weren't able to connect with her at showtime. But she is doing the right thing and raising the questions, which you have to raise. And you're allowed to believe what you want to believe because you know your daughter better than anyone else knows your daughter, number one. And number two, you're the advocate. You're the one who wants to get to the truth. All right. All right, folks. I wanted to get a couple of little doodads in here, by the way, and remind you that we've got a big Christmas show coming up on Fridays. Usually on Fridays, I do the live stream podcast with Al and Jonesy, the Tangent True Crime Podcast, and we've got a couple of competitions where you can win some big prizes. First, we have the ugly sweater competition.
Send a photo of your sweater to the moss, old or new. The winner gets a prize during Tangent Christmas Extravaganza 25. Old or new, send it to the moss. Send it to the moss. Tangent Ugly Sweater Contest. Tangent Ugly Sweater Contest. Send it to the moss.
December 21st, it's a Sunday night, 7 to 10. It's the Tangent Christmas Extravaganza. We are talking about musical numbers, special guests who you're going to love, trust me. And of course, all the pageantry and trivia and prizes we'll be giving away during all 3 hours, including the ugly sweater competition. So you can send in your picture. It could be new, old, whatever. Send it to vinny'smods@gmail.com. Make sure you get it in time to be part of the competition. I want to get to some of the comments from folks here. One moment. There we go. Okay. Let's see. We've got Common Sense Investigator. It's absolutely disgusting. They didn't investigate this. Yeah, I think now they're like, oh, wait a minute. This one's not going to go away. And I think they're going to start backpedaling and saying, well, listen, the investigation's not over. It's continuing, blah, 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 blah. Well, come on. Come on. We heard from mom what you're telling mom already. Like, come on. Get your minds made up already. You're like this. Yep. And it's not a homicide investigation. Well, how does it become a homicide investigation? Right? Think about that. They're saying not a homicide. Wait a minute. It's not a homicide. It's a death investigation. I think they're all death investigations until we come up with the evidence, and they should all kind of have the same approach. Like, okay, someone died here. Let's see what's going on. Did we talk to everyone? Do we have all the evidence? Do we have the autopsy? Do we have the toxicology? Did people allow us to look at their phones? Do the stories match up from the people at the party? Do we know who was at the party? And J Love 14, she was an ATM student at a Texas Longhorn party, right? So my guess is, right, she's from Texas A&M. She's in Austin on the campus or just outside the campus. I don't know if this is one of those privately run apartments. I think it is. I don't think it's like run by the school, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of Longhorns there, but there's a lot of Aggies in town as well, right? Unbelievable. But that could create some of the friction, right? But could things get out of control? Was that the genesis of whatever was taking place? Maybe. And, if people are a little tipsy and they start arguing, maybe things get out of control that shouldn't. But still, I'd like to know what the genesis was of the friction between her and someone else in that apartment. Gen X, part of the fabulous mod squad. But this young lady looks like she's social and living her life. Oh, yeah. That's the other part of it. And that's what her mother's saying. Like, yeah, she was living her best life. There were no signs of this. Right? And obviously things can go south. People can put on a facade on social media and other places about what's really happening in their lives. But it seems out of character. She wasn't isolated. Obviously, she was traveling with friends from her school to Austin. She's doing road trips. I think people and again, yeah, you can put up this facade even in front of your friends that things are really bad and you're not letting them know. But generally, I would think if you were in that state of mind, you might retreat and isolate and come up with an excuse why you can't go. Oh, yeah, I really wanted to go with you guys, but I can't. I got to work on this paper or something. And then retreat and isolate, right? That's not what was happening here at all. And is that really the context and scene where you would voluntarily jump off of that balcony? Like you're partying all day? Like, is that really the time and the place that you would expect that? I say no. Like I've seen this episode of Law and Order already. I feel like I have. Oh, by the way, Ashley Bouchard, another one of our mods over on Facebook, reminding me to remind you, please go to my Facebook page, Vinny Politan Court TV, and like it and follow me over there. The reason being, it was over 1 million a while ago, but when Facebook kind of goes like this all the time. Sometimes they clear out names or whatever. So we're under 1 million, but we're getting this close to hitting 1 million once again on the Facebook page, which is, a reason for a party. So if you can go over there, like and follow, that'd be amazing. Thanks so much. As I mentioned, of course, Gen X, Ashley Bouchard, two of the members of our amazing mod squad who are, of course, the best in the business.
The mod squad, keeping order in the chat. The mod squad, spotting trolls who attack. Oh, Gen X is ready and on the scene. Frankie Feeds making sure they're keeping it clean. Jennifer Soubey telling haters don't be so mean. And Ashley Bouchard on top of our Facebook screen. simply the best. The Mod Squad.
The Mod Squad. And you can check in the chat for the link to my Facebook page and do a quick like and follow. Thank you so much. Robin Grant, knock on wood, Vin, that you didn't get caught up in college shenanigans. No, I didn't get caught up in any shenanigans. I was a DJ. I DJ'd during college. So while everyone else was partying, I was working. I was getting paid. All right. Oh, good news. Samir is getting ready to submit her Christmas sweater. Good luck in the competition, Samir, my love. There we go. All right. We shall see. We shall see. All right. What else do I have here? I have some other important information for you. More important information. Yeah, there we go. All right. I wanted to put this up one more time. And I'm wondering, what was the weather that night? I don't know if this isn't necessarily the balcony. This is a balcony from one of the apartments there. How large was the balcony? Were there windows from the balcony into the main room? How many people were there? We think it was 15. How long was she gone before anyone noticed? How long did it take between when she went over the railing to when police responded? Did anyone leave the party before police even got there? Did anyone call 911? Why didn't they? Did anyone see anything? Did anyone see her go out there? Who did she travel to Austin with? Which friends? How did they lose track of her? What was going on? What were her last conversations about? How was she acting that night? And these are all the questions that are obvious questions that until you have answers from like everyone at the party, how can you come to that conclusion? Now, they spoke to some of the people at the party. I don't think they spoke to all of them, but some of them the next day to get information. But how they were able to even leave that night. But it could be a good thing, because if something did happen, they may very well be communicating with one another. But in order to get the phone right now, it'd have to be voluntarily hand over the phones before you could get enough probable cause for the warrants that you may need. And that takes a little bit here, because, you know, they've got nothing to go on because they haven't done the work. They haven't done the work. Yeah, this is Auntie Ree 94. Looks like you're from New Jersey. Got to put your exit there. How many people were at the party? I've heard 15. That's what I heard as well. This is a great question as well from True Crime Butterfly. What about cameras from surrounding buildings? Were those checked? See what I'm looking at here, and when you see how high up this is, right? And I don't know which way it's facing. Part of the building faces, you know, the city here. But what would you pick up? What would the cameras pick up? My guess is there are probably some surveillance cameras at the entrance to this building. I would think they would have that level of security, right? Got a lot of young people here. So why not take a look at that? Who was leaving quickly from the building? Those would be the first people that to be most suspicious, is if the ones who were the first to exit the building and just get out of Dodge before police even arrived. And I would think that you'd have security video from the lobby of this place or the outside near the entrance so you could see people leaving. They probably have a security person that is there, whether it's like armed security or someone who's like on call who, you know, has access to whatever security cameras they have around the building, whether it's hallways, common areas, whatever. Have they really gotten all that video? Have they been interested in it? Then you have neighboring buildings as well. You can see people, again, leaving. Did anyone like walk by and not stop? Gen X, thank you for covering this. I believe this is Gen X's alma mater where all this is taking place in Austin. I've only been to Austin once. I was there for the, was it South by Southwest? And then I went to see the Bats and I had some barbecue and it was the middle of the summer and it was around 180 degrees outside. But it was a real dry heat. That was so hot. Good barbecue. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, another big announcement for the Christmas party, folks. I got to get these in because this is a quick video. We're also crowning, and this is a big honor, the Tangenista of the Year.
We're gonna crown the Tangenista of the year. It could be a man, it could be a lady, but whoever it is, they got to be the greatest. The Tangenista of the year. The Tangenista of the year. The Tangenista of the year.
All right, this is a big, big honor. What does the video have to be about? You send a video, you nominate yourself, or you can nominate someone else, and you don't even have to tell them. Create a video explaining why this person, whether it's you or someone else, deserves the honor of being the Tangenista of the Year, which will be Tangenista of the Year for 2026. All year long will be celebrated as the Tangenista of the Year. A video no longer than 60 seconds, but you know, it can be 10 seconds. Maybe you can make the case in 10 seconds. It's like an elevator pitch. What's on the video? Whatever you want to be on the video. Just no nudity. That's all. No nudity. Thank you. All right. So send your nominations to vinny'smods@gmail.com and don't be shy. You can certainly nominate yourself. We encourage it. Okay. So Brianna Aguilera, I'll give you my bottom line on this. And I'm going to continue to cover the story on my show at night as we get more and more information. The investigation needs to be done. I have not come to any conclusion. I am very skeptical of her voluntarily doing it to herself. That would be like on my pecking order of what I think could have happened. That would be on the bottom. Obviously, it's possible. I never met her. But just the circumstances surrounding it and how things like this normally play out with college students, it doesn't fit. It would be on the bottom of my list. If it's an accident, I need a little explanation. Like, how? Why? What was going on? And that could be answered through partially toxicology and an eyewitness or something. I don't know. Something. But I just don't know how oops that could happen, especially the way they build these new apartment buildings with totally up to code. There's no wobbly railings. They're high enough that you're not just going to oopsie doopsie. Like, you've got to make a concerted effort to put yourself in a position to where an accident could happen. So I want to know what those circumstances are, like how that could happen. And then, of course, the other one, which is someone did this. And in that case, you've got to uncover, because somebody knows something. If that's the case, somebody knows something, somebody saw something. And my guess is somebody's going to say something to someone else. But if your eyes aren't open for it and you've already dismissed it, you may miss it. That's my concern. All right, folks, what else do I have here? I only have a couple minutes left here. Oh, yeah. So you're looking for that really great Christmas gift for the true crime lover in your world? Check out the Vinny Originale True Crime Merch Shop.
Shirt and a hoodie, a beach towel and a mug. A new design from Vinny is better than a drug. True crime merch, you know he did it. True crime merch, mark the exhibit. True crime merch, we hate Casey. True crime merch from Vinny Originale.
Yeah, it's we got some great products. You can take a look at them up here. Stuff from the Tangent Podcast. We've got the best sellers are, of course, the allegedly stuff. We've got allegedly T-shirts. We got allegedly hoodies. We've got allegedly winter hats, baseball caps, mugs. So check it out. It's amazing. You're gonna love it. Vinny Originale. If you Google Vinny Originale, it sort of pops up. But this is the actual website you can go to. That is there. So you can check it out. And by the way, if you go on there and you don't find something you're looking for, let the mods know, and we can try to add it to the shop. We've done that in the past. All right. And Ashley Bouchard reminding everyone, don't fall for any Fugazi merch. Yeah, I've seen it. There's people putting up fake Vinny Originale stores, like using my picture and stuff and putting the merch up. Like, it's a compliment, right? It's like a compliment that someone's already, and we're not selling billions of these things, but just, for the folks that love true crime. Well, this isn't one of them. This is just a comfy sweatshirt I'm wearing today. Anyhow, by the way, when did they become hoodies? When I was growing up, it was just a sweatshirt. We call them sweatshirts. Yeah, let's put on my sweatshirt. Now they're hoodies. But I guess because they have a hood, like, I would just call this a hooded sweatshirt when I was growing up. But anyway. People want me to go after them, report them and get the dollars. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right, folks. Before I go, because I have time today, we also have a competition each quarter where you may or may not know, if it's your first time here, I'm a type 1 diabetic. And at the end of the program, what we do is we guess my blood sugar, but you have to wait for the music to start. Once the music starts, you start posting your numbers on what you think my blood sugar is, my current blood sugar. Right now, as we speak, I have a continuous glucose monitor, a CGM. But you can't guess yet. Don't guess until the music begins.
Is a type 1. He's type 1. His pancreas is on first. He has diabetes, type 1 juvenile diabetes. And so it's time to guess, is more or less. What's his blood sugar? What's Vinny's blood sugar? Under 70, he gets life's head. Under 60, all the alarms start ringing. Over 180 he starts to get lethargic. But when it's 90, Vinny, eyes are singing. And so it's time to guess, is more or less. What's his blood sugar? What's Vinny's blood sugar? But take a guess. Yes, take a guess. Let's guess Vinny's blood sugar now.
All right, folks. I'll give you one clue. We got to run the music again because no one's getting it. I did eat lunch before the show.
Here's the type 1. Here's type 1. His pancreas is on fruits. He has diabetes, type 1 juvenile diabetes. And so it's time to guess, is more or less. What's his blood sugar? What's Vinny's blood sugar? Under 70, he gets lights head. Under 60, all the alarms start ringing. Over 180, he starts to get lethargic. But when it's 90, Vinny, eyes are singing. And so it's time to guess, is more or less. What's his blood sugar? What's Vinny's blood sugar? But take a guess. Yes, take a guess. Let's guess Vinny's blood sugar now.
We've got a bunch of people have been off by one, but I think it's the first time we've ever run it 3 times.
Here's the type 1. Here's type 1. His pancreas is on fruits. He has diabetes, type 1 juvenile diabetes. And so it's time to guess,
Congratulations,
is more or less.
Vice W9T. Congratulations. Now I'm going to write it down on my list of quarterly winners so far. Where's the list? Always got to find the list. Q4. All right. You're in the running now. What's the date today? The 3rd. 5. We got 137. All right. We may have a runoff. Okay, folks. We'll continue to do this till the end of the year before we have the Q4 winner. But congratulations. 137, which to me, after eating lunch, perfect for me. You're always going to get a slight bump. Always going to get a slight bump. All right. Congratulations, Vice W9T. All right. Yeah, people were nibbling around it. I saw a bunch of 138s, some 139s, 140s. And we finally hit it. All right. That's it for me. I got to run. I got 2 shows I got to do tonight. I've got closing arguments with Vinny Politan at 8 o'clock. We're going to get into that case out of Michigan. A lot of people are talking about it. The woman was 9 months pregnant. Now her mother and stepfather accused of torturing her in the woods and then carving out the baby. Are you kidding me? And apparently they have not found the child yet. What's going on in Michigan? We're going to talk about that. And of course, the continuation of the Brian Walsh trial, which I think a lot of people are watching as we speak. We've got another great trial happening too. This one in Georgia. Strange. This former beauty queen accused of taking out her boyfriend's 18-month-old son, JD. That is a tragic one. So we'll have all that coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. We are going, what are we covering tonight? Vinnie Politan Investigates. I think we're doing the Apodaca case. And if you don't know the Apodaca case, make sure you watch it 9. Trust me on this one. Just trust me. All right. That's it for this program. I am Vinnie Politan. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the incredible Mod Squad doing amazing work. Don't forget the big Christmas show, Sunday the 21st, 7 to 10 p.m. Enter the competitions. Be ready to answer some great trivia questions, win some prizes throughout the 3 hours of special guests and trivia, musical numbers. It's going to be amazing. I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight. And please don't forget to hug the kids.
Say goodbye. Thank you for watching Vinnie Live. We'll be back, but I don't know when. We hope that you will watch again. Vinnie Live. It's Vinnie Live. Whoa, it's Vinnie Live. To our awesome mods. Thank you for those super chats. Please hit the like and do subscribe. Let's do it again on Vinnie Live. Now before you go, just one more thing. Please post below, say anything. Before you go, just one more thing. Please post below, say anything.